Right, it is exactly 1 p.m. East African time. Good afternoon and many thanks for entrusting EBN TV. We keep you up to speed. Those making headlines from across our 47 counties, of course, as far as news is concerned. My name is Macharia. Do stay with me for the next couple of minutes, even as we keep you updated on what's making headlines across the country. My name is Macharia once again. Remember, you can watch this particular program live on Facebook and as well as on YouTube. Rather, you can as well send us your feedback through our SMS line, that is 23059. Now, EBN News at 1 starts now. Several residents of Syokimau in Ade River, Machakos County were forced to spend the night in the cold after a fire gutted their homes on Thursday night. Now, the inferno broke out at around 10:30 p.m., destroyed 7 mansionettes and at Katani Villas Phase 1 along Katani Road in Syokimau, Mulolongo Division. Families lost property of unknown value as they struggled to contain the blaze before emergency services arrived. The incident was reported to Syokimau Police Station shortly after the fire was contained. Authorities have since launched investigations to establish the cause of the blaze. Right, Ruth Odinga has expressed her disappointment with the Nairobi members of county assemblies for failing to impeach Governor Johnson Sakaja despite publicly declaring they had lost confidence in his leadership. Speaking to the media, Ruth Odinga said the MCAs had a constitutional duty to act as oversight authorities for the county governments and should have allowed the impeachment petition to go through the due process. She argued that the matter ought to have been forwarded to the Senate for determination rather than being dismissed prematurely, stressing that the MCAs had failed in their oversight role.
The issue of devolution. And one of the main tenets of devolution is that the MCAs are oversighters of the county governments. And therefore, the actual fact that the MCAs of Nairobi came out to oversight and say that they had no confidence in the governor of Nairobi should have been recognized and nothing should have been done. They should have been allowed to go through with that petition. And I tell the Nairobi MCAs that they should have continued with their process so that if in case they feel wronged, let them impeach him, let him go to Senate. Let Senate then say that whether he's right or not. But to stop the process, when there was already grievances, I am from Kenya, I'm not from Nairobi. I am somebody who is actually a believer in devolution and oversight. And therefore, for me, I feel disappointed in what the Nairobi MCAs have done. They should have gone through the process. They should have ensured that we actually uphold the devolution, the tenet of devolution that states that the MCAs are the actual oversights of the governor. So for me, I'm very clear and categorical that the MCAs of Nairobi have let down the people of Nairobi.
Now, the National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse, that is NACADA, has arrested 10 suspects in Kakamega County for alleged involvement in the sale of illegal drugs and alcohol. Now, the crackdown carried out in Shinyalu and Ikolomani areas led to the seizure of bang worth 500,000 Kenya shillings. During the same operations, NACADA officials also destroyed more than 300,000 liters of illicit brew, including changa, along with over 1,000 liters of kangara. Authorities confirmed that the suspects are currently in custody as investigations continue. NACADA reiterated its commitment to combating the trade and consumption of illicit substances, warning that those found culpable will face the full force of the law.
What we've done here today will also be a marker and an educational moment towards our efforts to educate the county about what they need to do. What I'll encourage these individuals here, the same effort they use, the operation that was going here is very sophisticated. If somebody could use even half of that energy to plant beans, I think the outcome would be better.
Now, the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, that is IGAD, in partnership with the Japanese government, has initiated a leadership training program targeting youth leaders from IGAD member states. Speaking at the training, Dr. Simon Nyambura, Director of Leadership Development Training, highlighted that the students have undergone comprehensive training aimed at equipping them with the skills necessary to foster effective leadership across the Horn of Africa. The initiative also garnered support from other international partners. French ambassador to Kenya, that is Mr. Bernard, pledged continued assistance from the French government, while Japanese ambassador Hiroshi emphasized the importance of expanding leadership capacities among the region's youth.
And we are confident they are going to be leaders that are consultative, leaders that are inclusive, leaders that don't manipulate but serve, leaders that don't seek power, but empower others.
It's an honor to address you today on behalf of the French Embassy and to express our strong commitment to advancing leadership training and capacity building in Kenya. The French Embassy is proud to support the leadership program for national transformation in partnership with the Kenya School of Government, the European Union, and other international partners.
So they agreed that in any process and any development process, the roles of women and the youth are very critical, particularly important, because peace and development can be stable only in case that women and the youth are productively involved throughout the process. Otherwise, process is fragile.
Right, at the same time, IGAD, in partnership with GIZ and Statistics Sweden, has launched a second edition of its population and migration statistics reports aimed at strengthening evidence-based governance of migration and displacement across the Horn of Africa. Now, the report covering the period from 2010 to 2022 provides a comprehensive analysis of population trends, migration patterns, and displacement dynamics in IGAD member states, that is Djibouti, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Kenya, Somalia, South Sudan, and Uganda. It underscores the region's critical role in global migration and highlights the importance of data-driven policies to address migration challenges. Key findings indicate that the IGAD region's population grew from 207.5 million in 2010 to 283.5 million in 2022, with men having 141.8 million and women 141.7 million, nearly equally represented. International migrants rose by 65.9% over the decade, reaching 6.8 million in 2022, while forced displacement remains a pressing concern, with the region hosting 4.3 million refugees, 1 in every 6 globally.
This will help us improve migration statistics, displacement, so that we can have correct policies that are based on evidence. As you all know, it's through the availability of accurate, reliable, and timely data It is through the availability of accurate, reliable, and timely data that we can develop evidence-based policies, national development plans, and visions to achieve the prospects of a resilient, peaceful, prosperous, and integrated region. Migration remains one of the most defining features of the IGAD region, driven by political instability, economic disparities, environmental shocks, and deep historical and cultural ties. Our member states are simultaneously countries of origin, transit, and destination.
As a country, Kenya has long been a hub for migration, and it has served as a place of origin. It's also a place of transit and destination of migrants and refugees for a long time. This report that we are launching today provides critical insights in terms of the trends, patterns, and dynamics of migration in our region, that is the IGAD region, and it offers a solid evidence to base policy and formulation and decision making. Ladies and gentlemen, the data and findings that are going to be presented in the report underscores the importance of collaboration and coordination among member states. No one could prepare this report alone. No country could do that. And therefore, it is a lot of collaboration, it is a lot of coordination. And thank you, Secretariat, for coordinating us.
Take cognizance of this is that these policy instruments take great consideration when on the availability of migration data for improving these processes. And that is the migration governance in general, which we consider as a development agenda.
Right, 11 minutes past the top of the hour. We are due for a short breather here on EBN News at 1, but we'll be back in just a bit. Right, welcome back. Moving on, the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights has conducted a training program for journalists in Garissa County aimed at promoting responsible reporting for human rights violations. The initiative focused on equipping reporters with skills to expose abuses by state agencies and criminal elements while ensuring the dignity and safety for victims are protected. Now, Deputy Director Daniel Mulei emphasized that the training provides journalists with tools to highlight injustices without infringing on individual rights. His colleague, Lynette Mwachiro, underlined the critical role of the media in holding institutions and perpetrators accountable for human rights violations.
Wataweza kutekeleza majukumu yao ipasavyo, manake watakuwa na ule uelewa wa kujua ni namna gani tunaweza kuelezea taarifa zetu bila kukiuka haki za wananchi ambao tunawafahamisha, na vile vile bila kukiuka haki za wale ambao tunawahoji kama wale ambao wanatupatia taarifa na mambo kama yale. Kwa hivyo tumeona taarifa nyingi ambazo wanahabari wamekuwa wakifanya zimekuwa zikileta mabadiliko mengi sana nchini, manake zinafahamisha wananchi kuhusu hata haki zao, wanapata kuzielewa, manake tunaona kwamba kuna baadhi ya haki ambazo wananchi hawazifahamu. Kwa hivyo kupitia kwa vyombo vya habari basi unaweza kufahamishwa.
There have been a lot of cases for violation of non-derogable rights, and by non-derogable rights I mean freedom from torture, cruel, inhuman, degrading treatment and punishment. We are talking about cases of abductions and enforced disappearances. So the Commission has moved the court for appropriate redress in line with our mandate under Article 59(2) of the Constitution. So if anyone has any complaint relating to a violation of a right or a fundamental freedom, kindly reach out to the Commission to enable us secure the appropriate redress.
Now, the Kenya National Gender and Equality Commission has visited Makueni County to address educational marginalization with a special focus on the transition of girls from primary to secondary schools. Speaking to the media, Makueni Governor Mutula Kilonzo Jr. welcomed the initiative, noting that the county has been grappling with a 16% gap in girls' transition to secondary education. Governor Kilonzo explained that while the overall education portfolio in the region appears strong, the transition gap is a troubling concern that must be urgently addressed. He pointed out that many families and communities lack adequate information on the importance of continuous education for girls, further widening the disparity.
We are privileged as a county to have received the Gender Commission, Gender and Equality Commission, on a study they are doing on particularly girl child and what appears to be a discrepancy or a gap between the girls who move from primary to secondary, and find out the reasons why there appears to be almost 16% gap in the transitioning of these girls for purposes of education only. Although they have recognized that we have a good rate in terms of our education portfolio, that is bothering them, and they need some answers as to why that happened. So they are going to go to 12 schools, interview some gender champions, interview our officers to get this conversation going. The reason why this is important is because we have been grappling with this issue, and we are grappling from the advocacy side, and yet the teams who have the mandate to do so do not have the information. There's also, of course, what appears to be data gap. Means agencies of government are collecting data, but the data is not percolating to the other outfits.
Makueni to conduct a study on the status of girls' education. This study is being conducted in 19 counties across the country with a focus on minorities and marginalized. Specifically for Makueni, we are looking at 12 schools in all the sub-counties. And you know, as we're going about starting this process, one of the most disturbing cases came to our attention this morning of a school in Kilome called Kiongwani Girls, where a Form 4 student, a young girl, was sent home last time because she was found with 3 pieces of chewing gum in her pocket. And what did the principal of the school do? Is that she sent the kid away and demanded a payment of 16,000 from the parent as a means of punishment. And when we looked at this homestead, is that it's a very poor family. They cannot be able to afford this amount of money. And yet, this kid is supposed to be in school preparing for a final exam. What happens is that the school has punished both the student and the parent, because what fault has the parent done to demand for this high level of punishment in terms of monetary value? So we condemn it in the strongest terms as a commission, and shortly after our courtesy call with the county commissioner, we are going to the school to establish what really happened and to demand that this kid be reinstated back to school immediately without any conditions.
Now, freight agents in Kenya have signed a landmark agreement aimed at reducing congestion at the port of Mombasa, a long-standing bottleneck blamed for increasing the cost of doing business. Through their umbrella body, the Kenya International Freight and Warehousing Association, that is KIFWA, the agents inked a memorandum of understanding with Swiss-based veterans operating locally as their service. Now, the pact eliminates the requirement for container cash deposits, which have been cited as a major cause of delays in cargo clearance.
This partnership and this solution is going to contribute majorly towards the port efficiency. And it is going to place Kenya as one of the biggest logistics hubs, not only within the EAC and the region, but in this entire corridor and Africa at large. To the shippers, to the clearing agents, we are very much happy that we'll no longer need the expensive deposits in thousands of dollars as has been. And we want to thank you, Mr. Madhengi and the team, for finding a time. So on behalf of KIFWA, we are very much happy.
Service coming in, it will give us advantage of having a financial flexibility. For example, maybe as a company, maybe your capital base is around $5,000, and you depend on that $5,000 to rotate it to pay some other services also, including container deposit and port charges. So by via service coming in, they'll remove the burden of you paying the container deposits, and the money can be diverted to other use. You understand? So number two, it also make the company grow.
It is a solution that we are now providing, which provides a business-friendly solution that addresses the concern not only of the freight forwarders and the shippers, but even the shipping lines who are the container owners. Because at the end of the day, if the containers are not moving loud, then business cannot thrive. So this is a major milestone for us. It's an opportunity that we are grabbing, because we know by leveraging our partnership, strategic partnership with KIFWA and other stakeholders, we are able to develop and implement this solution and others for purposes of improving the logistics ecosystem in this region, and therefore enhancing development.
Right, now let's get sporty. And Kenya's Harambee Stars are geared up for their 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying clash against the Gambia, scheduled for today at 4 p.m. South African time at the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani. Now, at the pre-match press conference, head coach Benny McCarthy expressed confidence in his squad's preparedness, saying the team is already focused and motivated to deliver a strong performance, McCarthy said, highlighting the importance of securing a positive result on home soil. The Gambia also held their pre-match press briefing, where head coach Jonathan McCrinsley and forward Musa Barrow shared insights on their team's strategy and readiness, emphasizing that they aim to challenge the host and make an impact in the qualifiers.
The intentions is really to give it everything we have. Like I said, it is a kind of impossible task at the moment when you look at how far ahead the front Wolfpack are. But for us, it's just about every match at a time and doing the best that we possibly can to try and collect maximum points. And you never know. FIFA might come up with something, one team gets disqualified, and then you get that pass through into the playoffs, and then anything is possible there. So I think you don't want to take for granted. So you just try, for our sake, is to play every game like it is our last game, and to get the maximum points that we possibly can, and then see how things plan out with other teams. People might lose points along the way, and then you just sneak in right at the dead, and then you get an opportunity via the playoffs. So that possibility is also in the back of our minds. But I know, taking over, coming in here, it was already a couple of games in where you were starting on the back foot, so it's impossible. But if not this one, the next one, 2030, is around the corner. So, we'll be looking for 2032.
Before, I was coming here as, Kasarani is the home team coach most of the time, with a strong backing in my favour, but ultimately now we come as the away team, and look, playing away in Africa is always extremely difficult. We've had to do that more than most teams in recent years because we haven't had a home venue back in Banjul for a little while. Kenya experienced something similar for a couple of years. But yeah, we come here confident that we can put on a good performance, and that's the starting point. If we put on a good performance, then we have every chance to take a good result. But we also know, look, the Harambee Stars are going to give everything for the result. They've had a good period recently in Chan. It was a good game back in March between the two teams. So we're looking forward to the game, and we're going to be ready for it.
I think tomorrow's game is going to be like an interesting game because I think Kenya showed us they can compete and they're a good team, so we're going to learn from our mistakes from the last game, and inshallah we're going to deliver tomorrow. But I know it's going to be like an interesting game because Kenya is playing home with their home support, but I think this is football, and the beauty of the game shows that you can play football anywhere now, and depends even if the stadium is against you or in your favor. But inshallah, tomorrow's game, we are ready.
All right, KCB RFC is set to continue their impressive form at the Kababeri Sevens this weekend. The fifth leg of the National Sevens circuit hosted at the Arfoya grounds in Nairobi. Now the Banks have reached the finals in all four previous legs, lifting the Driftwood Sevens in Mombasa and the Christie Sevens in Nairobi. Currently atop the circuit standings with 82 points, KCB holds a narrow 2-point lead over Strathmore Leos, who have 80 points, settling the stage for a competitive showdown at Kababeri. Head coach Dennis Mwanja expressed confidence in his team's readiness. KCB will field a star-studded lineup including Vincent Onyala, Festus Shiasi, Stephen Osumba, Jenkins Kipruto, Brian Wahinya, Floyd Wabwire, George Woro, Elvis Olukusi, and Emmanuel Opondo. Their blend of pace, power, and experience has been key to the team's success this season.
I'll just speak about the mental part of it. It's been hard. It's been something that the boys have really worked very hard to get right. We are all going out to present ourselves at Kababeri Sevens. I know we are going to put our best foot forward. We are going to work hard as a team has been working very hard. So it's just a matter of pushing all the limits and playing each game at a time. So our main focus is just to keep our heads into the game and to be able to get ourselves to the final and see how good we can be at that day. I don't think it's pressure. I would say there's a lot of motivation that comes behind Kababeri. So we've been able to win Kababeri for the last 3 years. So this will be our 4th year to win Kababeri. So I think it's a big drive for us in the camp. Everybody's really focusing in going out and presenting themselves now that we didn't win the Meru tournament, Embu tournament. So it's a big boost for us. We are going out to Kababeri, a tournament that we know we've always won. And I think everybody's just, the morale is big at the camp and everybody's really looking out to going out and playing in Kababeri. I don't think it was a mild concussion from Embu. It's a measure that we took to just put him out to see if he'll be able to recover for the next tournament. I think he's seen his doctors, he's been approved, he's been given the green light to go. So we expect Asati to be fully at Kababeri, presenting the bank and to be able to just present us to see how we can go as a team. Everybody is motivated in one thing. We are going out, we are going to win. We are just very grateful for the bank. The bank has done a lot for the team. They have created an environment for the boys. The boys are really focusing on whatever they need to do, and I think it's just one job for us to go out and bring Kababeri home. Mine is just to thank our fans. They have played a major role. See this team growing every day. They have played their part. They have been the number 13 player at the field every day. So for us, it's just to give them back whatever they have done for us and to be able just to bring that joy back to them. So KCB is a growing team with young talents. So the future is bright for us, and we'll keep on building and we'll keep on pushing and we'll keep on making them proud. Thank you all the supporters. Come out, support the team. We still need you as we go through all this stuff.
Now Mofula stand spectators during the second round of Sports Biz Africa Golf Championship at Kigali Golf Resort, and Villas recording a spectacular hole-in-one on the par 3 second hole. Wafula finished the round with a 4 under par 68, bringing a tournament total to 1 over par 145, securing a place among the top 30 players who made the cut for the final round. Rwanda's Celestine Sanzuera delighted the home crowd with a sensational performance. An eagle en route to the 9 under par 63. Now the stellar round extended his overall lead to 13 under par 131 after rounds, giving him a 7-shot advantage over his nearest challengers. South Africa's Travis Proctor and two-time DP World Tour winner Hind Porsches alongside Kenya's John Wangai are tied for second, a 6 under par 138. Wangare, the top-ranked Kenyan on moving day, recorded a 3 under par round with 6 birdies offset by 3 bogeys.
It was a bit amazing round of golf today. I started quite really nice with birdie, eagle number 3, and I came up with a strong mind, which means I can play more than what I can do. So I came down, I went to hole number 5. I teed up in fairway and get par. That was okay for me. And I get birdie next hole, which was good. From there, I started thinking I can go up and up and up. And I liked my putting today. I did 23 putts a whole round, and I hit whole fairways a whole round, which was good for my rounds. Yeah. I had no pressure today. The pressure was for yesterday, and when I see those people behind me, that's inspired me and play more better and better to show them I can do it.
So what's the game plan tomorrow?
It's same thing. Play my fairways, play my green regulations, and see if I can win.
Today was a great round. Before I started the round, I went there with the mentality of just to enjoy, to have fun, because I really love Rwanda. It's my first time here. It's my first tournament outside Kenya as a professional. So I didn't want to stress myself today, and I think everything just worked out because I was really enjoying.
I hit the ball pretty much the same as I did round 1. I made a few putts the first 9 and turned 3 under. I had got a bit of confidence back after yesterday's poor performance on the greens, but the back 9 kind of was a repeat of yesterday. I hit a lot of really good shots, and then my putter just went cold, so it was back again to 2 putting most of the time and making 4s. But look, it was still really good. I'm really happy with how I played. I feel like 6 under is the worst I could be with how I've actually been playing. So, you know, hopefully tomorrow there's a low one. But yeah, I mean, I'm really happy with today.
And I knew for me to at least have a chance to make it, I have to make at least 2 birdies, but I managed to make 3. So I'm really excited to make the cut on the championship. I mean, it's actually great, you know. It's always nice to compete, playing competitive golf. We don't really get that as ladies. So it was actually nice, you know, to compete against men, playing for the same prize fund. I mean, I always say we just need to be given a chance. We were given a chance and we made the cut, so that's nice.
All right, now up to speed, what's making headlines from across 47 counties and of course in the world of sports. Many thanks for, of course, keeping me company here on EBN television in news at 1. My name is Macharia, but before we break, I just want to remind you that Rema Feast 2025 is actually ongoing. It actually commenced this week, September 1st of 2025, and is scheduled to end today, the 5th day of September 2025. Now, dozens of believers actually gathered at Uhuru Park grounds in Nairobi, to worship and pray, declaring the name of our Lord Jesus Christ at Uhuru Park. Now, I'm being advised that Pastor Tim Wangi is actually ministering, and I want us to head there. My name is Martin Macharia, signing off. Have yourself, a lovely day, and let's meet again when God says we do.
Getting me? So, before Jesus and Bishop JB explained it powerfully, before Jesus, no man could enter heaven. So all that died in faith were